Hi, I'm Cara, welcome to my channel and welcome back if you're a subscriber. So today we're going to be making a 7x7-ish size card which is inspired by this multi-slider glider die set from Sam Colcott Made Surprise. But I'm going to use absolutely no dies to make it. I've taken a little while to work out the measurements for you and break it down to the easiest way, but some of my subscribers might not know about Made Surprise, or you just might not have this die set. I was lucky enough I didn't get it when it's first launched. I picked it up on the sale on Made Surprise's 6th birthday back in May. But I know a few of my subscribers are from the Hunky Dory group, so you may not have this, but when I post it, you might like the look of the card and like to have a go. So I thought, let's do it with no dies so everyone can do it. And even beginners, when I break it down, it is really easy to do. So let's get into it. So this is my prototype of the 6x8 multi-glider slider with no dies, and it is just a really fun card. It's a kinetic card, slides up, and it's on the card base, and you'll have room to write your message. You can have lots and lots of images coming off this, or like I'm using today, I'm going to be using A Merry Little Christmas decollage from Hunky Dory, and I think this was either 2025 or 2024, I'm really not sure, but it was in my stash, so I thought we'll use it. And then your main topper, or if you're using a main topper like I am, it would sit there, so it'll be flat in your envelope, just a little bit of bulk, but still getting an envelope. And then when it slides up, it would pop up and stand. It's super fun. So let's go through what we're going to need. There is a little bit of scoring and cut into this, but we'll get into that in a minute. So you're going to want 2 pieces of cardstock. Now mine is 250 GSM. That measures 7 inches in width and 7.5 in length. Now I've done it this measurement just so I can break it down to straight inches rather than going through 1/8 and 1/16 for you. And for my brain, it's a lot easier. So you want 2 pieces that side. One is for the multi-slider, slider mechanism, and one is actually for the card base. Then you're going to want a piece of cardstock. I'm using red contrast colour for the sliding bit, the bit will attach, will slide up, pull everything up. And that measures 6 1/4 by 7 3/4. But we may trim that down a little bit. I've also used the coordinating cardstock that comes with this decollage set, this gorgeous tree. And again, it is 7 by 7.5, and I've just cut out a big aperture in the middle, so I've got a 1/2 inch border just to go on top of the multi-glider slider like I've done here, so it gives a bit of a contrast. And then for these bits here, you're going to want 9 in total. So you want 9 gold that measures 1 7/8 squared, 9 patterned, which is 1 3/4 squared. Okay, forgot, you're going to want another piece of cardstock which measures 7 by 7.5. And along the 7.5 side, you're just going to score 2.5, and that is just to make a little stand for it, because these cards are nice displayed laying flat. I don't like to put them on an actual card base, but some people might like to display them up. So I thought if you've got this stand, it can be displayed either way. So let's make our little slider part first. I'm going to use my trimmer because that's what I prefer and what's easier for me. If you wanted to use a pencil to mark out what I'm saying, then use a ruler and craft knife. That's completely up to you. So I'm going to put my card at 1/2 inch, and we're just going to make a 1/2 inch frame. We're only going to cut down this side, across the bottom and up the top. We're not going to go across. We're not going to do 4 sides, just 3. So put it to 1/2 inch. Make sure it's the way you want it, so it's the 7.5 length I've got here. So So I'm going to come to 7 inches, start at the bottom. I'm going to go all the way up to half. Flip it around, do the same again, but this is the 7 inch now. So you're going to come from 1/2 inch all the way down to 6.5. And you do that one more time. 1/2 inch. And come to the 7. All the way up to the half. And that should free up. Oh, just need to do a little bit more on this side here, because you see I've just missed. It doesn't quite meet up, which is fine. We can just go over that. I'd rather go over and be too overzealous. Oh, still not quite right. Always just grab your scissors, it's easier, and just cut into it that way. Okay, so that is freed up. Now we're going to move on to the scoring, but we will come back to some more trimming in just a moment. What I'm going to do is put it this way, so my bit where I haven't cut is on this side. I'm just going to score a 1/2 inch in between these 2 cut lines to join them up. So what I like to do is just lift this up. We'll just work out where the come over there so we can get the 1/2 and then join it up. Now from there we're going to come down 2 inches, so that's 1. So 2.5 we're going to score again between these cut lines. I'm just going to lift it up just so I can grab the 2.5 line here, make a mark so I know where I'm going, and again right down to that cut line. I'm going to come down 2 inches again, so that's down to 4.5. Again, just score that down. And then we're going to come down final 2 inches to 6.5, because this is 7 now. So we're just going to make a 1/2 inch tab at the bottom, and that's going to be where our pull panel will stick to. I'm going to flip it back so we've got our 1/2 inch score line across the top. And we're going to come in from this line is a 1/2 inch. We're going to come in 2 inches. So again, it's 1, 2.5, and just between the score line and the cut line. So just hover and then score. Score line and the bottom score line, sorry, not the cut line. You don't want to score on this tab, just to that bottom score line. And again, 4.5 from that score line down to the bottom score line. These are actually going to be cut lines, but it's just so you know where you're going. So if you wanted to grab a ruler and a craft knife here, you could, but I am just going to pop it in my trimmer because it's easier, and I just line my score lines up. And again, down to that bottom score line and up to the top score line. Perfect, just a little bit more there. And again, just move down 2 inches again, and your score line should line up perfectly. If you're not quite sure, again, see, use a craft knife and a ruler. It's personal preference. Just like to make sure it's slightly there and slightly up there. that frees that up completely. Almost forgot, you're also going to want one piece of strip that measures 6.5 by 1/2 inch, and that is this little strip here, which obviously, because you glue these two down, or that one, whatever one you want to stay down, you glue down at the front, but you can't glue at the back, so you glue that little tab on, and that will keep that bit down. So now we're going to do some folding and burnishing. So we're going to fold this school line here first, right back, I just like to tease it with my fingers first, because this is a nice strong 250 GSM cardstock. And I'm going to fold these ones down, and I'm going to fold these ones down. And I'm going to fold this little 1/2 inch tab back, that'll be a valley. Then you're actually going to fold these two school lines back again as well, because you want them to fold both ways. You don't want any cracking, so you want to fold them both ways. It can go either way. I've also got another little tip I picked up from Sam Calcott. It's just to use a little bit of candle wax just to go down here to stop any catching in the mechanism. And then on the side. And these, that'll just stop any catching. So it folds up, yeah, you can already hear it's not catching now as much. There we go. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take our frame and just stick this down. And for that I'm going to use my Hunky Dory construction glue. Just while this sticks, I'm going to put some of my little clips on there, just so we can carry on with adding that pull out panel, the red part, and this will stay in place just where we do that. So it saves us me stopping and pausing while that dries. So what I'm going to do is going to put red liner tape down that little tab there. That's all secure in place now. So I'm going to lay this down with the tab at the top. And take my red and make sure I've got it the right way, which I have. The reason I've cut it to 6 1/4 is so you can have 1/8 of an inch just over each side. You just want to line it up so it's straight and it's slightly over. And when that's down there, I'm just looking how high it's going to be. So I might, which I think I will, yeah, going to trim 1/4 inch off this. And I'll tell you the new measurement now. So this is actually 7 1/8 by 6 1/4. So your red, your pull-out piece is 7 1/8 in height by 6 1/4 in width. So let's go back and let's just, like I said, line it up so you've got about 1/8 of an inch overhanging either side before you do anything else. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my red line tape off. So I'm going to add a little bit of construction glue, the slightest amount, because you don't want any glue spilling out. It's just to go on that red liner tape. And you're going to ever so gently move it down. Again, making sure you've got one either side. And give it a press. There. Like I said, that will pull up your mechanism and it works perfectly. So now I'm going to run a red line tape down here, here and here, just in preparation. So now we're going to go ahead and stick all of our little mats and layers down, all 9 squares. So I'll do that and I'll be back with you. That's all my mats and layers stuck down. I love the fact you can use the coordinating cardstock to make this whole front. So I'll see what was left from the aperture that I cut out. I've used it, I've still got some left just to decorate this. I think it's great. So I'm going to flip it over now. I'm just going to pull this back and I'm going to have these two stuck down. So I'm just going to add some construction glue onto them. And I'm going to fold that down. And give that a minute. And we're going to want this one stuck down. In order to stick that one down, you're going to have to attach, this is where the other piece comes in handy, a bar just in the brickwork. I know it's the other way around, but it will just blend in so much nicer. It won't stick out like a sore thumb as much. So I'm going to slide that through where I want it. And then I'm going to clip these guys down. They seem to be popping up. Glue isn't this time, so again, that's as far as it will go. So that's where this will go there. So I'm just gonna slide it under both, push it to where I want it, and I'm just gonna grab it and flip it over. I'm going to slightly peel off my red liner backing tape here. I don't want the small piece off now, just cut that off. Just so I can, again, reassess where I wanted it. The only thing, trying to drag that out to work out where I wanted it was about there. Once you've got one side stuck down, you're fine, because you know where it's going on. You can just make sure it's straight. Out there. And add another little piece of red liner tape here. Just stick that one down. And I'm going to stick this one down with a tiny bead of blue. Tiny bead of blue. And I will clip it down for a minute. I'm going to take the clips off here and I'll let that dry. The next one will be attaching it to our card base. And revealing the part where you can write your message, which is probably what I do. I'm not going to stamp any sentiment because I have got this beautiful All Hearts Come Home for Christmas on there, and I like to write my own sentiments sometimes. I think this will look absolutely stunning. Just looking at it now, it looks absolutely gorgeous. What we will do while we wait for that to just dry is I've got just a small little circle punch here, and we need to make a finger pull just in the middle of this centre square. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over. I've taken the little bit off just so we can line up. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just that just makes it easier to be able to grab and pull. And there's our little mechanism working well. So I'm going to flip it over and take the rest of this lovely red line tape off here. I'm not going to add any red. I'm not going to peel that one off because I don't want anything to get stuck there. I'm not going to add any wet glue because I really don't want anything to seep into my mechanism. So I'm going to line it up at the bottom. That just seems my best option. So I can do it bit by bit. And turn the bottom to the top so I've got a better angle. Again, just bit by bit, that's all you want. We have beautiful slide card. So I'm going to bring back in that little piece I had as a stand. I'm going to fold down the score line and burnish. Then this makes a great stand. That's what we want, which is what I quite like. That will be in the top half. We'll stick on there, and then we've got a stand. So I'm going to add construction glue all over this. But this is personal preference. You don't want a stand, you want to put it onto like a 7x7 card blank and an 8x8 with a bit nice border. That would be lovely as well. There's so many ways. You could just have it as it is. It's right on the back for it to be displayed, and it can be displayed laying down. You just say to your recipient, I love this card mechanism. There are so many fun ways you can display it. The list is endless. You could even add hang a ribbon on the back, and it could hang up on a wall. Make sure it is stuck down completely, because I've just realised I haven't pressed down all my red line tape and there was a bit of coming up there. So now that should be, yes. Got a little bit of resistance, but that's all good. At least it's not flying everywhere. And there is our glue mark off there. That's the stand. So let's bring in our piece de resistance, if you will. It's going to go on there. I'm just going to attach it to this one, but Again, this is quite top heavy. I'm going to use red liner tape. That there. I think we're going to have that. I'm going to write my message inside and I'll have that on there, I think. And for that, we're just going to use a little bit of our construction glue. And let that take. And I'm going to bring in some of my Hunky Dory Moonstone gems, because who doesn't love a gem on a card? And I think green just brings out the greens that I've got going on. And as always, I'm working with the rule of 3 when it comes to gems. Or anything really, odd numbers, flowers, a lot. As you can see, we've got 3 pairs of wellies, 3 lanterns, so they're working with the 3s as well. And there is our really fun, no dies needed, multi-glider slider card. And it stands up like that, it's gorgeous. So that is where I'll write my message. And I will probably draw a little arrow, put a little arrow there so people know to pull it. So if you stuck with me to the end and you've really enjoyed this no dies required kinetic card, please let me know in the comments. If you'd like me to do some more of these, again, please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. I'd really appreciate your help to grow my channel. And as always, I'll be back soon with more.